Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back. I'm here. Nothing happened to me. Just have not been having a good week. That's why I didn't post yesterday. Nothing eventful happened yesterday. I made $78. I took a loss on MGI here. Where is it? Come back here. MGI. I tried to long it at the open here off of 343. I longed it. I added some more to 1,000 shares, and then I took it at $100. I had to take it, and I immediately switched to short. And I shorted 1,000 shares. So I sold 2,000 shares. So I went from net long to net short. And then it dumped, and I realized this is too much size for how whippy this is. So when it came back up, it dumped a little bit, and then it came back up. I covered half of it. I started covering on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 400 shares, and I went long again at the bottom here. What I thought was the bottom. For the double bottom, it's a valid setup. It just didn't work. I held on for a little bit too long. But I had tiny size, right? So I had like 300 shares or something, because I knew that it was under 343. 343 was like the absolute, where is it from here? 343 was like the only thing I cared about right here. So I said, I'm not going to do what I usually do and long like 500 or 1,000 shares here, because we're under this level. We could still come up into VWAP and then fail. We didn't even make it up to VWAP. But if I was right, even on 300 shares, if this went all the way, went red to green, and broke up to like $4, I'd be up about $200. And then, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was risking. But instead it went the other way, and I didn't sell in time, and then it was kind of consolidating here. And I saw like a flag forming, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to break my rules today. I'm not going to do anything crazy. Done. So that was that. I also traded the SPY puts. I'll just go through these quick so that we can get into what happened today, because holy shit today. Why did this not pop up? So yesterday I was taking puts on the SPY, and oh man, I wish this would just pop up. Let me just go to the SPY. So the SPY yesterday, we surged all the way from 289.50 to 293.50, like a 3-point move overnight. That is crazy for the SPY. So for some reason, I took it upon myself to short it in this area here. I think it was right around in here. I took the contracts as we came up to these highs that it had previously made that day. So this is what I saw right there. And then I took them. We ended up doing a head and shoulders kind of move. Here's a shoulder. Here's a head. Here's kind of a shoulder. And then we started moving down from there. That's why it wasn't such a powerful move, because the shoulder, like the pattern wasn't really a full head and shoulders. So anyways, I was down close to my max loss here, and then I covered it as it came down, I think towards 1 o'clock. Let me just show you the contracts here. I only had 5 of them. Well, I started with 10, and then I realized that was too many, so I instantly sold 5. I don't know why I do that. Don't ask. So it came down as that head and shoulders was going the wrong way for me. So as it's going up, these puts are losing value. And then it came back up, and then I waited for it to break the low of day again, and then I sold them at 1 o'clock. I was right, 1 o'clock. So if we look at the SPY from yesterday, as it broke back down right here on this hammer candle, I believe, yeah. So as we broke down into here, I was selling. I could have held on for a couple more minutes, but I was selling into this right here. This is what I saw. We're coming up, we're bouncing, and then we come back down. Sold the whole thing right there. And I brought myself back up to $80 in the day, or 78 or whatever it was. You know, I was just having a really terrible day. We don't have to get into that stuff here. This is neither the time nor place for all my personal problems. So that's fine, but that's why I didn't upload. I just, you know, I was out on the bike for a couple hours just riding around. I went to the gym, went for a walk, was listening to some podcasts on trading, and just kind of taking a break. Not necessarily from trading, but just from all the shit that's going on. So that's cool. Now let's get into today. Today, MLNT. What the heck? What the heck? Insane. Absolutely insane. So I knew at the start of the day I didn't want to take too many shares because of how volatile this is, because of how quickly all of this swung. So I was buying for the opening range breakout, 300 shares, 300 shares, and then I sold as we broke through my loss, my max loss, and that was that. I tried to take it again here with 1,000 shares. Where is it here? 934. How many? 934. 934. I took 2,000 shares for a scalp, a very quick 10-cent scalp. And that's when I realized that this thing was getting soaked like crazy. I wish I had recorded it. I didn't because I woke up late. Like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest, so I just didn't even think of the OBS, the software. I just opened up my platform, was looking at stocks. You can see the trade here, though. 934. This was it right here. This is what I saw happening on the level 2, the time. I wish I had this. The level 2 time and sales. The bids were stacking. The bids were rising. Every dump into it was getting bought up, and the ask was very, very thin. So right as I saw the momentum coming through, this was literally like the perfect entry. I bought 2,000, and then I did sell them a little bit early, as you can see. I didn't wait for the 431 level to actually, like, you know, pop up, but I knew that this was a very quick trade. This was 4 seconds, and then I added $200 like that. So now I'm green on the stock. So here, now I'm saying, okay, this thing actually has a lot of potential. This thing could do this. I actually thought that it had this potential today. So I was starting to add in this area, 431. It hadn't confirmed yet, so I was only adding 100 shares at a time, 100, 100, 100, 100. And then I go up to 1,500 shares right here. I remember we hit VWAP. I put my order in. And in retrospect, yes, it was a little early. We dipped down another 15, 20 cents from that. So we're talking now I'm back down 150 on the stock. But I was just so convinced, like absolutely so convinced that a biotech with massive FDA news, I thought this could rip. I didn't think it could rip this far, but I thought I could rip to high of day. So I held on. I was respecting the 374 level. If I had been wrong, yes, I would have lost a little bit more than 200, and I would have been done again. But I was willing to risk that, and it eventually started working out. I did not sell a frickin' thing until high of day at 474. I sold 500 shares, and then I sold another 500 shares on the way up. It just didn't stop going up. And then it got halted. It came back down out of the halt. Let me show you this. Where is the halt level? It came down out of the halt, or sorry, it unhalted. It surged up. It came back down. I bought another 2,000 shares right here. There was a guy right here at 545, I think. Yeah, 545 with like 80,000 shares. So I said, that's good enough for me to get in with bigger size than normal. 2,000 shares. I was already up so much on the stock that I was willing to risk that. So I buy in. Again, right at the bottom of this candle. You can see my thought process. if you go down to such a low time frame, because I pretty much bought at the bottom of this candle, 552, and the bottom is 550. And then as it surged up towards high a day again of 575, I sold 1,000, and then I immediately tried to sell the other 1,000 on the bid as it was dropping, and I got filled at 560. And that was that. That was that trade right there. Alright guys, I had to just edit that part right there because I realized I was talking for way too long. What I was trying to say is that I was holding on to a very small amount of shares in this area through this dump, and I was actually adding in here. I was adding to a final size here of 1,500 shares. My average was approximately 458, and I was only underwater for a very brief couple seconds in here and in here and in here. I didn't sell any in this pop. I really thought that we would have some sort of weird parabolic short squeezing movement from this, and that's exactly what happened. Like, I'm trying to remember what all I saw was just such immense soaking, and I remember looking at levels. So every short in here screwed. That's why this squeezed. Okay, so now there's a whole bunch of shorts in here. Most of the volume, you can see most of the volume was done in here, and then a whole lot of volume in this area too. So everyone who's trying to short after this kill candle is now underwater if we get above here. So now that we got above here, this is where I added. You know, I didn't have the best entry on that, but once we stayed in this range now, 460 to $460 to $5, every short in here is now also underwater. And then as we got above that, these guys are underwater, so I said, okay, this is like game on. So I'm selling here on the way up, 500, 500, 300, and the remaining 200 shares I sold as we broke this massive trend right here. Actually, I think I was also using this level here. I said if we get under this level, we're likely gonna fail from here. But again, you can see, of course, now it's just doing whatever it wants to do, and it might actually test high a day again. Who knows? So that was that. That's insane. I made over $1 per share total if we're using 2,000 shares. I made like $1.40 per share or something. 35 per share, something like that. Absolutely nuts. Now this does not happen all the time, and for some reason I was just so convinced that this would happen. Exactly what happened would happen. And I'm trying to communicate that to you guys, and I wish I had a better explanation. I saw a lot of soaking, like crazy amounts of soaking in places that it should have dumped. For example, after this kill candle, this should have been the next kill candle. We surge up on high volume, people come in, slam the bid, slam the bid, slam the bid, but so much soaking happened right here, we didn't roll over. That's almost always what should happen. And then a whole bunch of shorts got scared, squeezed out, and momentum buyers started coming in. And then we moved up to the next level in here. The exact same thing happened. We squeezed on high volume, massive volume, and then we should have dumped. We should have dumped from here, but we didn't. So I was just holding, I was ignoring all this noise, and I literally waited to high of day. Okay, I didn't wait till high of day. I got close to high of day. And then I was just selling through the squeeze, just at random points. You know, I was selling here for the break of $6, and then for the last 200, I just had to stop in. So that's that. Now let's go over the MES, because I am in crazy size on the MES, and I only added to this size after that trade on MLNT. I was initially short only 15 contracts with a risk of about $100, $150, but then I doubled down and then some to 35 contracts short on the SPY. Let me show you. As we came into 292.40, which is yesterday's close, this dashed line, and 292.50, a level that I had for pre-market from previous days, and from the high here on 5.7, this is where I was adding. Right here. It was right here I was adding. It started to work out. It started to go against me. And now we're starting to work out again. And now we're still holding this trend, but I think we will break down. You know, the Fed meeting is in an hour. I have a great entry. I think that everyone thinks it's going to go up. And I don't actually know what's going to happen based on what they say. And I don't think anyone does. But I think since everyone thinks it's going up, that is another reason I wanted to get in short. And another reason is this 292.50 level. We're not holding it. Like, this might look like a flag to you, and maybe it'll end up breaking to the upside. I don't know, but I think the fact that we're under 292.50 is really, really bad, and we're actually probably going to break down by probably 115, 120, maybe actually in this candle right here. So currently short, risking about $300 or $400 of profit on the day, and now I'm currently up that. So currently the trade is 1-to-1, but I'm actually probably going to move my stop closer to break even if we break through low a day. And my target is like I'm holding on for like an absolutely absurd move, and I think the Fed can give me that move. Now, I would likely take some off in this area, which coincides with 291.40 on the SPY. I would take most off here, and then we have a gap fill all the way down to 290 or like 289, the high 289s. So I could start taking, like, if we make it all the way down here, this is gonna be like a ridiculous trade. This is my entry, this is the current position, and this is how much I'm up right here. So if we come all the way down to here, that's gonna be nuts. So the only reason I'm taking such big size is because I had such a big winner, and I'm willing to risk 15% or so of the daily profits to further leverage the profits and make them even bigger. I normally would not take this size. That would be absurd. I might actually even add. I probably won't add because this is crazy. The notional value on this is like hundreds of thousands of dollars, like the margin. So I hope that was kind of helpful. Sorry if I sound like a little monotonous, not as enthusiastic. I'm just not feeling too hot. I still am trying to provide some value. I do apologize for not uploading yesterday. That's why I'm here today. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have uploaded today either. But, you know, I like uploading. I like answering people's comments. I've been talking with people in the Discord all day through private message and, you know, the public. So if you want to join, if you want to message me, feel free to do that. Or just leave a comment down below, right down there. Other than that, I'm pretty sure I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm just trying to stay away a lot from the computer, trying to get outside as much as I can, and we'll see what happens at 2 o'clock. You know, if the SPY flushes, you know, your boy made a lot of cash today, and if it surges, well, then I got stopped out for about $400, $450, somewhere in there, but still up very nicely on the day. So thank you guys for watching. You have a good one.